Good morning, student. I am Dr. Ritika, the faculty of CSA department, as an associate professor in Sant Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. Today, I am going to deliver the lecture on the subject of our e-commerce, and today we will cover the topic of our value chain analysis. Now, in our first slide, we have covered just introduction part related to your value chain. In this slide, we will cover value chain analysis. So the value is the total amount that buyers are willing to pay for a film product. The difference between the total value and the total cost of performing all of the firm's activities which provides the margins. So this value chain is a tool developed by Dr. Michael Porters. The what is the value chain? We have also covered the definition of our value chain in our first slide, which is related to the introduction to value chain. So here again we will learn some definition related to your value chain. The Porter's definition includes all activities to design, product, market, deliver, and support the products or services. So it is concentrating on the activities starting with raw materials till the conversions into final goods or services. Here are the two categories of our value chain. First is primary activities and second is the support activities. In primary activities, it includes operations, distributions, and sales. In support activities, it follows research and development, which is R&D, and their HR, that is human resource. So in our upcoming slides, we will learn about some activities related to our value chain also. Now, types of value chain. The value chain is categorized into type, which is based on the type of organization, like manufacturing based, service based, and both companies related to your manufacturing and service based. Now, what is value chain analysis? It is used to identify sources of competitive advantages, especially opportunities to secure cost advantages, gives opportunity to create product, services, and their differentiations, also includes some value creating activities of all industries participants. Now, this diagram we have covered in our previous slide also, which shows some supportive activities and primary activities. The supportive activities related to their journal management, HRM, technology development, and procurements, which is related to your customer values. And in primary activities also related to your customer value, which include some inbound logistics, some operations, some outbound logistics, sales and marketing, and service and support. In our previous slides, which is related to your introduction to value chain, we have explained this diagram also. Now, type of film activities. In primary and supportive activities, those that are involved in the creation, sales, and transfer of products include after sales services, which is related to your inbound logistics, operations, in outbound logistics, sales and marketing, and service and support, all are related to your primary activities. And in secondary activities, those that merely support the primary activities like human resources, journal and admin, some technological development, and procurements, all are related to your supportive activities. In primary activities, the value chain models from Michael E. Porter of competitive advantages. This diagram also shows some primary activities and supportive activities, which is helpful for your customer values. Now, in primary activities, some inbound logistics, which is concerned with receives, storing, distributing inputs, and which include some example like handling of raw materials, warehouse inventories and control. In operations, price the transformation of the inputs into the final product forms. In outbound logistics, it involves the collecting, storing, and distributing the product to the buyers. In market and sales, they identify of customer needs and generations of sales. In service, it involves how to maintain the value of the product after is after it is purchased. So in supportive activities, the supportive activities related to your journal management, HRM, technology development, and procurements. So in firm infrastructure, or you can say journal management, the activities such as organization structure, control system, company culture, all are categorized under firm infrastructure. HRM involves in recruiting, hiring, training, development and compensations. Technology development includes all these activities are intended to improve the product and the process and can occur in many parts of the firm. In procurement, it concerns with the task of purchasing input such as raw material, even labor and equipments. The use of value chain analysis. The source of the competitive advantages of a firm can be seen from its discrete activities and how they interact with one, one another. The value chain is a tool for systematically examining the activities of a firm and how they interact with one another, also affects each other's cost and performance. A firm gains a competitive advantages by performing these activities better or at lower cost than competitors. They help you to stay out of the non-profit zone, also present opportunities of integrations, also assign spending with value processes. Now, vertical linkage. The linkage that can also exist outside the firm. For instance, there is a linkage between a firm chain and the value chain of its suppliers and channels. So here are the example I have given. The activities of some raw material which is related to their supplier, which affects the activities of the firm. So similarly, the activities of the distributor also affects the firm also. Now applying the value chain to an industry. The value chain of the different firms within an industry vary from one another. In fact, the difference in the value chain among the different industries players provide the source of competitive advantages between these players. Now, here is the example of our Tata Motors or a manufacturing based company. So, in Tata Motors, the value chain and the value system of Tata Motors, like these are the transport convoy driver associated with their sales person or products. Here, dealers network, market research firms, and vehicle financing also related with their the different suppliers, some strategic alliances, some regional welfare dealers, workshops, and distributors also react with this, which follow some inbound logistics, some operations, outbound logistic, marketing, and services. So this is the way how Tata Motors interact with the help of value chain and value chain systems of our Tata Motors. Now primary activities. Inbound logistic or long-term contact with service providers like transport and agents. Personal at regions offices of overseeing the smooth transit of goods. Transparency and monitoring through deployment of IT to all transactions through SAP. GTL is related to your daily transport logistics which supply for critical high value items. They are also efficient for storage facilities, which is helpful for easy storage and retrievals operations. Now, in operation, capital equipment manufacturing divisions include tooling development capabilities of global standards, apprentice training courses which ensure stable sources of skilled manpowers, Kaizens and TPM, that is a total product management team, continuous drive to improve efficiencies, automate manufacturing processes, distributed manufacturing, which assemble unit at South Africa, Thailand, Bangladesh, Brazil, also gives in maintenance which is related to your technical competence, some capacity utilization like Mercedes-Benz car make use of Tata Motors paint shop facilities. Now, outbound logistic, which is the stockyard all across the countries, long-term contract with transporters, which gives higher value of business to transporter, ensure competitive price, regional sales offices and vehicles which dispatch sections linked through SAP, also gives an efficient security systems for preventing of any kind of pilferages. Now, marketing and sales. Structure approach to understand the requirement of individual customer which is conducting at regular intervals, clear identification of product requirements which leading to development of innovative products, pan India presence and global footprints, independent teams for addressing the requirement of institutional customers like defense, state transport units, also help to augment the scarce resources like freight selling vehicles through Tata dealerships. In return, Tata has access to freight technology and unutilized capacities. Next, quick assessments of the changing market dynamics and consumer preferences. Large network of dealers which follow some use of technology like CRM or DMS. In services, it is easy availability of spare parts, efficient collection of data from fields and communication to the respective plants, pan India presence as well as global presence, large network of workshop, dealer workshops and TSS, also gives training facilities which is related to your dealer and TASS personals. Now, here is the example like which how value chain of primary activities to each supply chain members. So these are the customer value chain which is related to their superior value to end user. Firm value chain also correlated with their customer value chain and superior value chain to end users. And these vendor value chains are related to your film value chain. So it is the amount of value added to the customer, and this diagram show how customer value chain, film value chain and vendor value chain are correlated with each other and how they deal with their superior value to their end users and how they handle activities of each supply chain members also. Now in support activities, the procurement is the e-procurement initiatives. Global source team like China are key destinations for sourcing essential items like tires, power steering units, steel procures and Belura and long-term relationship with a stable and loyal pool of suppliers. Next is the technology-driven procurement. Next is the strategic subsidiaries like Tata, TAQ group of companies which follow strategic subsidiaries. Now next is the centralized strategic sources for key components. Next is the group resources like Tata Steels and Tata Internationals. Localized supplier based at manufacturing location which is related to their low inventory levels. In technology development, approximately 2% of the annual profit of the company invest in research and development. Knowledge portal help employees keep abreast with the latest technologies, extensive prototype building and testing facilities, strategic partnership like MDI, Finance and Fed, some formal benchmarking processes, and last is the technology day which organized across all plant locations. Next is the human resource, that is HR, vast pool of technical competent engineering and managers, focus on development of technical capabilities, technical training centers, alliances with technical institutes, also focus on development of managerial activities and also helpful for career advancement schemes. Now next is the firm infrastructure, which is related to your multi-location facilities, strong leadership under the aging of the Tata Sons, best-in-class prototype building facilities, technologies, and last is a large product portfolios which is helpful for our firm infrastructure. Now in Walmart, a service-based company. So the Walmart here you can understand how Walmart follow the process of your value chain, which is helpful for the value chain analysis in primary activities and in supportive activities. In supportive activities, they related to the infrastructure, HRM, technology development, and procurement. In business infrastructure, it deals with the 400 plus trucks, tractors, approx 3,000, more than 30,000 square foot stores for small towns. In HRM, top management spending bulk of time with stores, employees called as associates, incentives, profit sharing, stock purchase, and decentralized. In technology development, it is related to UPC, that is Uniform Product Code, at point of sale, cross docking, and satellite network. In procurement, some good bargaining power with vendors, no vendor accounting for more than 2.8% of your total purchase. So, this activity is related to your supportive activities, which gives the margin and also helpful for our primary activities like inbound logistic, which is very low cost of 2% operations, that is 9 to 9 working hours in a 7-day a week. In outbound logistic like strong presence of distribution centers, and in marketing and sale everyday low price, always low price and cash and carry, and in services it provide quick response, no question asked policies on returns, and some margins to be given on both supportive activities and primary activities. So this is the second example of our Walmart which follow the value chain and how this value chain analyzes on the different two activities, that are sportive activities and their primary activities, and how they supportive activities deal with different business infrastructures, HRM, technology development and procurement, and how primary activities deals with the Walmart value chain in inbound logistics, outbound logistics, what are the operation based on inbound and outbound logistics, some market and sales, and lastly it will cover the services. And on both the supportive activities and primary activities, they gives a margin which is related to your value chain analysis. They can analyze what value chain and how much it effective for their supportive activities and their primary activities. So in this slide we have covered some supportive activities, sales like sales, marketing, inbound. In our slide we have firstly we have covered what is value chain and what is value chain analysis. We have learned about value chain, type of value chain activities. Then we have learned what is value chain analysis, and after that value chain we have learned some value chain models like in supportive activities and primary activities. Then we have learned more about primary activities which include inbound logistic operations, outbound logistic, sales and marketing, and service and support. In supportive activities, we have learned HRM, technical development and procurement. After that, we have covered primary activities. Some primary activities we have learned more about inbound, outbound operations, marketing and sales services. In supportive activity, we have learned film infrastructure, HRM, technology development and procurements. Then use of value chain analysis we have learned in our slide. After that, we have learned some vertical linkage and how it apply the value chain to an industry. We have taken an example of Tata Motors, which is manufacturing based company, and how it deal with value chains. Then this is the example. With the help of, you can understand how Tata Motors can work on value chain and their value chain systems. After that, we have learned some primary activities: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, services. Then we have learned with the help of this diagram how value chain is effective for Tata Motors. After that, we have learned supportive activities like procurement, technological development, human resource, firm infrastructure. Then we have learned another example of Walmart, which is a service based companies. So Walmart value chain also helpful for in both primary activities and supportive activities in a value chain analysis. So student, it is all about our value chain. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you students.